The partner of the avoidant gets labeled anxious, clingy, needy, insecure, overly emotional. They begin identifying with this diagnosis, believing their anxiety is a personal pathology they brought to the relationship. What they do not realize is that their nervous system is functioning exactly as designed. It is detecting inconsistency, responding to intermittent reinforcement, and attempting to establish safety in an environment deliberately constructed to provide none. The anxiety is not a disorder. It is a reasonable physiological response to being in relationship with someone whose behavior creates the exact conditions that generate anxious attachment. Number 1. Intermittent reinforcement creates anxiety in any nervous system, regardless of attachment history. The avoidant provides inconsistent availability, warm one day, cold the next, present for a week, then vanishing without explanation. This unpredictability is not random. It is the defining pattern of intermittent reinforcement, a conditioning mechanism so powerful it is used to create addiction and compulsive behavior in laboratory settings. The partner's increasing anxiety, their hypervigilance about the avoidant's mood, their constant monitoring for signs of withdrawal. These are not symptoms of inherent anxious attachment. They are normal responses to a reward schedule that has been made deliberately inconsistent. Any person subjected to intermittent reinforcement will develop anxiety around the source of that inconsistency. The partner is not anxious by nature. They are anxious because their nervous system is trying to predict the unpredictable, trying to identify patterns in chaos, trying to establish control over outcomes that have been made random by the avoidance regulation strategies. Subscribe to understand how relationship dynamics create the attachment behaviors they are used to diagnose. Number 2. The need for reassurance emerges specifically because reassurance has been systematically withheld. The partner of the avoidant begins asking for more reassurance, more confirmation of care, more explicit statements of commitment, and the avoidant labels this as neediness, as insecurity, as evidence of anxious attachment pathology. What actually happened is that the avoidant withheld these things so consistently that their absence created a deficit. The partner's nervous system is attempting to address a person in a relationship where affection is freely offered, where presence is consistent, where commitment is demonstrated through action, does not become desperate for reassurance because they are already receiving it. The partner of the avoidant seeks reassurance compulsively because they exist in a state of emotional scarcity the avoidant created and maintains. Calling this anxious attachment is blaming the person for becoming thirsty in a desert. The need for reassurance is proportional to how little reassurance the relationship provides, and the avoidant provides almost none, while pathologizing the partner for noticing its absence. Number 3. The same person is often securely attached in relationships with consistent partners. The most revealing evidence that the anxiety is situational rather than dispositional is that many people who exhibit anxious behaviors with avoidance do not exhibit them in relationships with securely attached partners. The same person who seemed desperate, clingy, and insecure with the avoidant becomes calm, trusting, and emotionally regulated with someone who offers consistent presence. This demonstrates that the anxiety was not about their attachment style. It was about the specific relational environment the avoidant created. The nervous system responds to what it is given. When given consistency, it produces security. When given unpredictability, it produces anxiety. The partner was not broken. They were responding appropriately to a relationship that was breaking them. The partner of the avoidant does not need to heal their anxious attachment. They need to leave the relationship that is generating it.